I love format breakers. Sure, there are alternate timeline stories and cartoons that fiddle with established animation styles, though those could be their own video. I'm talking about a show with an understandable, consistent format that has their characters deliver their lines through song. Take Eddsworld for instance. What is the standard format for any given episode? That's a stupid question, but it's certainly not psychological horror. While Eddsworld has certainly taken influence from horror tropes in the past, and there are some dark moments scattered throughout, this is the first and so far only time the show has leaned into horror while throwing comedy to the wayside. And it's like really good. One by one we watch these wholesome characters get haunted by perversions of the things they love. Moments that could and have been played for laughs in the past aren't so funny when they play on very real and human anxieties. Did I also forget to mention that this is a compilation of silent films? That's been done before in Eddsworld, but never this memorably. It is far from the only format breaker in Eddsworld's catalogue. Zombie Run is in black and white and follows the real Matt and Andy in a fantastical scenario. Casting Call does something similar. Come to think of it, any episode that features Eddsworld Studios could be considered a format breaker. Who could forget Eddsworld BTS or Christmas 2005? What I'm saying is that when a cartoon decides to completely abandon all guardrails and go entirely off the wall with its format, it can result in some of the most exciting and brilliant episodes of their run. Case in point, the Krusty Krab training video is an instruction video for Mr. Krabs employees. How many people in SpongeBob's target demographic will have even heard of a training video? How are kids supposed to find this parody funny at all? Well, the writers manage it.
But it didn't get that way overnight, because the store closes at 6.
That's the brilliance of a great parody. It's entertaining as a standalone work, but to those familiar with the reference, they can also find humour in how the subject matter is deconstructed and lovingly mocked. Oh man, I could do an entire video about parody if I wanted to. That's its own can of worms. Neon Genesis Evangelion. Killer intro, giant robots versus alien invaders, the wacky antics of a Japanese high schooler, a penguin that lives in the refrigerator. For some reason, I'm obsessed with the episode Lilliputian Hitchhiker, or An Angel's Invasion. It forgoes the mech battles and sidelines the main characters for an invisible virus-like being that threatens to blow up the facility, and we follow the scientist side character whose job it is to eliminate the threat. Is this the most off-the-wall episode of Evangelion? Definitely not. But as far as Monster of the Week episodes go, this one is tense and character-heavy without any of the action that viewers had come to expect at the midpoint of this show's 26-episode run, and I can respect that to no end. I gotta finish Batman the Animated Series at some point, just as soon as I've worked out why I'm still paying for a Netflix subscription. One of my favourite episodes that I've seen is POV. The episode tells the events of one fateful encounter with Batman through the point of view of 3 different police officers with different experiences and motives. No one story is entirely complete and there are clear inaccuracies in their storytelling, but we get enough of each perspective to gain a more complete picture. Now, it doesn't entirely commit to the gimmick for the whole episode, but it absolutely could have. The Simpsons episode Trilogy of Error catalogues a day in the life of Homer, Lisa, Bart, and the people who cross paths with all 3 narratives. The story is airtight, the pace is immaculate. I can see why this is the highest rated episode since season 10, barring the newest episode at time of recording. Come to think of it, almost every post-classic Simpsons episode with an IMDb score higher than 8 points does something interesting with the format. Maybe that speaks more to the fatigue with the standard format, but to me it says that the writers still have it in them to make something off the wall when given a chance. If Batman the Animated Series made a pastime out of format breaking, BoJack Horseman turned format breaking into an Olympic sport just so it could win a gold medal. We got a little bit of weirdness earlier on. What if an entire episode took place during the taping of a game show? Let's find out. But then a season 3 episode will place the characters underwater, an environment where communication is famously difficult, so it's a silent film. We get episodes that play with linear storytelling, episodes that play with the setting, episodes that follow a surprising set of characters. I don't even want to tell you about the Churro episode, I don't want to spoil it. Does every episode work? Maybe not for everyone, but it's clear to me that the show's ambition could not be tamed by a standard formula, so I savor each and every one. What I'm realizing about most of these examples is that few of them are just adding something. Like, sure, they add an interesting narrative device or whatever, but in practice, storytelling elements have to be taken away in order to commit to the new format. What we're left with is an episode that's as memorable for what it does as for what it doesn't do. I think that made grammatical sense. I think that's why I love Bustle episodes and other narratives that take place in one location and unfold basically in real time. By stripping away everything but the basics, the storytellers can let the characters and their world shine. Just please don't make Daria sing anymore.